Still just on the Middle East subject, of course, the war in Israel has and surrounding regions has certainly caused tensions in that region, particularly when it comes to shipping, of course, with the Red Sea a flashpoint at the moment. Now, compounding that is, of course, concerns back here at home with industrial action taking place at freight terminals across the nation, particularly in Sydney, which has impacted DP World profoundly. Joining me now live is Adam Butler, who's the chairman of the Australian Federation of International Forwarders and Custom Brokers and Forwarders Council of Australia. Adam, it's great to have you on the show today. So this week, the crisis or the issues surrounding DP World has certainly come to the fore when it comes to shipping. The government has been urged to intervene in this issue. What do you make of the response so far?
Thank you for having me on, Simon. We are in the perfect storm of shipping at the moment, as you say, with the crisis in the Red Sea and the prolonged negotiations with DP World and the Maritime Union of Australia. Just for your viewers, these negotiations have now been going on since October last year. It's a rather long time for these negotiations to take place. Patrick Terminals, which is DP World's main competitor and about just a little bit larger than DP World by market share, had these same negotiations in November 2021. The negotiations were certainly long, but they didn't go on as long as the ones with the negotiations with DP World have been going on for. So we are, as an industry, and we are a small industry, it's quite a closed industry, we're happy that this issue has finally made it into the mainstream media. IFCBAA, the association who deals with the service providers who look after international traders, both import and export. Our members are the ones clearing this cargo, and they're having enormous issues trying to deal with this uncertainty around vessel arrivals. And what we need now is the federal government and Tony Burke's ministry to step in and get these negotiations happening. I mean, no negotiation should take 4 months. It's been a long time. Back in the Chris Corrigan waterfront days when Patrick had the issues, we had the Howard government step in and the negotiations ended after a while. But we've got a new CEO at DP World who started in October 2023. The protected industrial action from the MUA started shortly after, and there's still at loggerheads. And both sides of the negotiations seem to be holding firm, and we're not moving anywhere at the moment. So it's causing a lot of issues for business and, in the end, consumers who rely on these products to arrive.
So, Adam, what sort of delays would these sorts of impacts place on products arriving to both suppliers and consumers?
Well, the issues in the Red Sea are adding about 3 to 5 weeks for a general journey from Europe, Asia, because the flow-on effect is global. And the issue with the MUA and DP World is adding probably about anywhere between 2 and 5 weeks on vessel arrivals. What will happen is, Simon, you'll have vessels turning up to berth at Sydney Port, and without notice, they'll head around to Fremantle and they'll discharge their containers and then come back to Sydney 4 or 5 weeks later. So the businesses who own these goods, under these conditions, it's impossible to forecast their manufacturing. It's impossible to fulfil orders. They've got customers who are upset that their products can't arrive. So day to day, we turn up in the office trying to look when this cargo is going to arrive, and you have no idea when it's going to turn up. I mean, there's issues of shipping companies leaving containers in other ports in Australia. Then they've got to move those containers back to their destination port in Australia. So the delays are unknown, and every day we have new information to deal with. So with this uncertainty, it's very hard for international traders to conduct business in this environment.